Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Agnes Law, professional corporate trainer and Gallup strength coach. Today, I'm very happy to have a very special guest. I knew her almost 20 years already. She is a lawyer, a very experienced lawyer, very passionate, full of energy, and I really like her, and she is my very good friend. By the way, her last name, I think, is meant to be a lawyer. Her last name is Miss Law, L-A-W. Elsa Law is the CEO of Elsa Law Co. Solicitors. She was qualified in the UK and had practiced law in London before returning to Hong Kong. Her law company, just last year, 2021, got an award, the award of Gold Winner of Best Legal Advice of the Expat Living Reader's Choice Award 2021. She is a very eloquent speaker. She always gave a lot of workshops. Now let's welcome Elsa. Thank you.
Thank you, Agnes. Thank you so much for inviting me to this particular interview here. And I'm delighted. Thank you so much. I'm actually born and raised, as you know, in Hong Kong, and I was educated in London. And in fact, I came back to Hong Kong, then I was, having a very interesting and diverse career. I was an in-house counsel to the Kowloon Canton Railway Corporation, which is now the MTR, and Riordan Holdings Limited, which is now Mitsubishi. I was overseeing, managing, and supervising commercial deals and litigation claims. And I've actually founded my own company some 16 years ago, and here I am.
Thank you for your introduction. Elsa, how do you find yourself being a lawyer?
I think being a lawyer is really very different from what people see. I mean, you usually see in TV dramas that lawyers are the eloquent and capable advocates in court and very successful professionals, very wealthy, they command anything they want and they drink in bars and enjoy themselves and in pools and everything. But it is all so glamorous and easy. In truth, though, it isn't, because lawyer is really hard work. And it's long hours and highly stressful, if I may say. And we do have to sacrifice our time, against maybe family or friends. I mean, I've really had a sort of very long career where I find that this profession is very stressful. But that's what it's like to be a lawyer.
Can you share with us what difficulties or challenges have you encountered to run your own business?
Well, I think, being an employee is a lot easier, but when I run my own business, it really is a different ball game because, well, first of all, we are lawyers. We have to deal with legal issues. And in fact, when we deal with legal issues, whether it is commercial contract or litigation matter, we do have to research into relevant cases to establish our argument or making sure that our contracts are in the right place and protecting clients as well. So there's a lot of research going on, a lot of analysis, and a lot of time into, discussing, thinking about how you can present a case, how you can word it in such a way that the contract is effective. And all these really are unseen to a lot of clients. They think that, lawyers command high price and high money. But, if you think about the time we spend into one matter, I mean, client may just see a contract for just, 10 pages. That might be 20 hours going into the whole thing already. Depends on complexity. Same with the cases. And in fact, to me, if we are going to be doing a client's job well, then obviously we don't just look into the time as well. We're really thinking about how we can focus on different aspects of this one case. Say if I've got a client actually looking for a resolution of a conflict, to say, okay, we are looking into her, law, obviously, that is the first thing, and we're looking into her her mental state, the emotional state, her finance, and the economic into the whole situation. Whatever happens, we look into it. This is what we say. We do provide holistic service in that sense. And in fact, other than these legal stuff and time, then we're talking about clients. Client may not be able to verbalize what they need or want. We need to be able to ascertain whatever it is, at the end of the day, and tell them. So it's a lot of focus and energy. And also being the sort of, boutique law firm, I'll have to deal with, the development, the business development, marketing, HR, administration. It is really a lot of time. Being a lawyer, I think is very different from what people see. In truth, behind the scene, we are pretty much, hardworking people. Yeah.
That's true. I know you always have a lot of very long hours. By the way, we knew each other for so many years. We had been traveled to many different countries because we follow the same teacher since 2004 or 2005. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, we are very much into learning how to bring our personal growth to gain peace in ourselves. So how did you cope with your challenging work using all these learning?
To be honest, though, when I first started being a lawyer, I hated my career. Seriously.
Really?
Yeah, honestly, because it was so stressful. I mean, I remember the time when we first started in Hong Kong, property was booming, right? My boss gave me all this, title deeds to look and read. And I remember every single day reading so much that I had to go to an optician. And he told me, your eyes are so sore that you've got to stop. But I had to do my work. I'm being very responsible. So I remember I actually went away and I came back to Hong Kong. The moment I landed in the Hong Kong airport, my heart sank. So it was like, seriously, I was trying to find ways out of, this career and thinking of switching and changing it. But I couldn't actually, because I think I've learned, my skills and knowledge in this particular area. And it's a little bit hard to give up as well.
You have chosen the topic of how to find meaning and joy in what you do. I'm very curious. How do you cope with all your very demanding job nature?
Right. I mean, as you said, my job is challenging and demanding for sure. I think, it really is in line with my personality because I'm actually a person's person. So when I do meet with different people, I love being with them and love listening to them. And I think B is because when I could see that I could contribute to their well-being, I just feel like I'm really doing my job. And just to give you a couple of examples is how I cope with my, my job. I really find meaning in it because, there are just a couple of cases that I can actually give you an example. One is a personal matter, one is a corporate matter. Now, for the personal matter, I had a client, only a few years ago. And she came to me, actually, I didn't know her. She actually knocked on the door. And she wanted to meet a lawyer for a consultation. And what she did tell me was that she actually had a property in the son's name. She was in a bit of a financial trap and she wanted to sell the property, but the son would not. And I looked at her evidence, though. She had all these evidence in place. She could very easily go to court. Then obviously what my advice was, litigate the matter. But then she hesitated and I looked at her and going into a bit more details, realized that she really didn't want to break that relationship with her son. And she wanted to preserve it. And I went a little bit further about how she felt about the whole thing. Then obviously, based on her needs, then I advised her to approach it in a different way rather than just legally. Although she was going to be able to succeed anyway. What I did was then trying to have, her relatives talking to the son, but it didn't work out. And eventually it came back to me and I actually specifically took how her relationship was with her son and how her son would want to preserve that relationship other than all the legal issues and all the legal evidence. And eventually, actually, the son came around and they settled. So to me, it was like, I don't have to put my clients through all the stresses, all the money, and she's able to achieve what she wants. To me, that is the biggest satisfaction. Honestly, to me, it's most meaningful. I didn't destroy a family for that, so that's something. And the next case that I could tell you is about a commercial case. One of my corporate clients was facing a breach, not their breaches, their clients, their customers breaching their agreements. And in fact, with that particular case, I did, remember my client actually asked me, how much would I have to pay you for litigating this? And I said, look, okay, it might not be solid, but we could deal with it. Let's just try, one letter. What I did was I factored into the background of the particular defendant. And in fact, what I did write was something very relevant. I did some case research as well, putting forward case research, but it was almost like presenting the evidence in court. And eventually, our client's customers settled with them. So this is what I do. And I thought, in fact, we could be, instead of litigating and making things worse for them and for the customer, and I could really help them to achieve settlement in that end. And I thought that's much more meaningful to me than fighting the whole case out. I mean, obviously, when we do litigate or argue, it is all, in a way, negative. And I much rather bring light than bring darkness. So to me, that is, yeah.
I like it, and bring light instead of bringing client to the darkness. And I think it's also very true that customers sometimes approach you, will ask, how much do you charge first? But you did not use the approach of, oh, this is a set price or whatever. Give the opportunities to help first, and then they are willing to pay. And it really helps you to get the job satisfaction. Wonderful. Do you enjoy your role and your job?
Well, I obviously do now. I mean, unlike when I first entered the profession, then it was like, oh, it's such a huge challenge, and it's like you got to deal with so many aspects of it. But yeah, it's long hour and all that. But when I could really kind of like do what I enjoy, like being with people, learning different, it's really interesting in my profession because we have different people in different walks of life. I really learned a lot about different, people, trade, industry, and everything. So to me, that's part of my personality, because I like learning. And then being able to solve problems, that's another part of, what I really like to do, like jigsaw puzzle. I want to see this and see if I can fit that way in and all that. So to me, it's part of, who I really am, I think. And being able to contribute, that's another part that really kind of like helped me to see that I am really living what I enjoy most. And I would say a lot of people see their job as just a job, making money. But I think if we can find, something that fits with our own personality, then I think that's, what we really need to know is who we are and what we really want in life to make us happy. And then work on that aspect of it. And I think this is why I can actually last this long for 16 years for my company.
Know ourselves first, know your strength, know what you like, what you can contribute, and then love what you do and do what you love. Wonderful. Yeah. Thank you so much, Elsa, for your sharing. Now, I know you are such a people person for so many years. I know you through learning. And by the way, Elsa is also someone who inspired me to join Toastmaster community because she belongs to the oldest club in Hong Kong, the very legendary club, Hong Kong Toastmasters Club. Anyway, I think we inspire each other. She also got me, inspire her to return back to join meetings as well, right? A few years ago, when you see, how come Agnes is so passionate and find the joy in the Toastmasters? I think we always inspire each other. The first person you inspire me to do that interest. Then you see me really committed, passionately committed. Then
it was amazing to see you like joining all these meetings and getting all the trophies. To me, it's like,
okay, trophy from contest is a bonus, as a very good encouragement and motivation. Since you are such a people person, I know your service is very much related to people. Can you share about your services and see how we can support and let people contact you?
Thank you for the opportunity here. Actually, we are a boutique law firm in Hong Kong, and surprisingly, though, I actually have a network called the Independent Worldwide Lawyers League, and which connected to lawyers of different countries worldwide, basically. So we're able to offer a sort of international service that international law firms offer. I actually have 3 separate pieces of our work, which I can classify as commercial and employment. This is the first part. We do a lot of the contractual part, like review, drafting, and advice on contract. And also, the sale and purchase shares and assets. And obviously, dealing with the employees' issues and employment contracts as well. We do a lot of that. And then the next piece would be civil litigation. Civil litigation involving the usual breach of contract, the litigation work, like I was saying to you earlier, this individual dispute or corporate dispute, and also divorce as well. The last piece would be personal succession planning. It's something to do with will, planning your will, how you can actually leave the estate, and obviously, if you have children, then we're talking about deed of guardianship, and obviously preparing for businesses. We do talk about enduring power of attorney and also probate work. So these are roughly the kind of works that we do in our office here. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your services. I'm more clear about your service, but not least, my channel is about power of gratitude. Anyone you like to show your gratefulness, your gratitude, please.
Well, I'm forever grateful to everyone who's contributed to my life. Obviously, my family members, they have contributed to me in different ways, and I like to pay tribute to my parents. They passed away. But I think there are a few more people I would like to specifically mention, I think. Because I think there are so many people I'm grateful to that I really cannot name all of them. I think, obviously, you inviting me, I'm grateful for you giving me this opportunity to share with the world, about meaning, that we find in what we do. I'm also grateful to 2 other persons, particularly. One is our teacher, Linda Chandler. She's really opened up my eyes about how we could see the world and how we could serve clients better and how we can make contribution to the world as well. The other person is one of my friends who just passed away last year, Shirley Lam. And she's one of those greatest person I've ever met because she's always, offering unconditional love, supporting. And I think throughout my law firm's years, she's always been there to support me in whatever way she could. And I'm forever grateful. I know she might hear it in spirit. Obviously there are so many people I want to thank, and obviously my clients will be, without them, I wouldn't be here today, but I really cannot name one of them, but I'm really, really grateful. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, I know your personality. You always value friends and also people who have helped in your journey. Thank you so much, Elsa. So today we had learned from Elsa, also got inspired by Elsa. A lawyer is not only someone who wear a black suit, holding a suitcase, going to the court. A lawyer has the heart to help people. This is what I heard from Elsa. And how do we find meaning and joy from work is through her contribution, and also all these contribution really matters. Thank you so much, Elsa, for joining us today. Anyone like my video? Please thumbs up and share and follow. Leave me comment, be the subscriber, and also turn on the notification bell. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Agnes. And I love to hear comments from the audience here. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.